Welcome to Yuno and Kenzo Koga, where ancient wisdom meets modern life.
Subscribe now and join us on this journey of awakening. If this resonates, tap like and share it with someone who would appreciate a moment of peace today. And feel free to share any thoughts or reflections in the comments. We'd love to hear from you.
Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we're getting into some really profound territory, exploring the quiet but powerful wisdom of Daisetsu Suzuki and the spirit of Zen.
It's fascinating stuff, truly timeless insights.
Absolutely. And have you ever felt like you're constantly pushing, striving, trying to achieve more, only to end up feeling more drained and maybe less genuinely free?
Oh, constantly. It feels like the default mode for so many of us in modern life, doesn't it? That sense of over-effort.
It really does. And that's where Daisetsu Suzuki comes in. He was this incredible Buddhist philosopher, really a key figure bringing Eastern thought to the West.
And his teachings offer such a different way to handle the pressures we all feel, a surprising way almost.
Exactly. He said something quite beautiful in his later years. Birds fly in the sky, fish swim in the water. Humans, too, should live as they naturally are.
It sounds so simple, doesn't it? But there's just so much depth packed into that idea of living naturally.
Right. So our mission for this deep dive is to unpack Suzuki's insights, hopefully helping you find a way to live authentically, strongly, without that exhaustion from comparison or, just grinding away.
So maybe relax, settle in, and just allow this exploration to be a kind of gentle nudge back toward your own natural way.
Okay, so let's start there. This idea of living naturally. Suzuki suggested that often our own efforts, the very things we do to succeed, can actually block our inherent power.
Yeah, it's counterintuitive. Where does all that striving come from? Why do we feel we always need to be pushing?
Well, it's interesting because Suzuki points right at our habit of dividing everything up.
Ah, the category.
Exactly. Success versus failure, right versus wrong, good, bad, superior, inferior. We do it constantly.
And look, that dualistic thinking, it's been incredibly useful for science, for technology, no doubt about it.
But here's where Suzuki really flips it. He argued that believing everything fits neatly into these opposing boxes. Well, that's the very start of our suffering.
Because the moment you split the world like that, you instantly create pressure. You have to choose the good side, the winning side.
And the consequence for you, the listener, is often this unconscious self-comparison,
Yeah.
right? Self-criticism, feeling a bit separate from your real self.
You end up living in this state of kind of separation and internal conflict.
So what's the alternative view he presents?
He contrasts it with the Eastern concept of Mufunbetsuchi, non-dualistic understanding. It's about seeing things before we slice them up with labels and logic.
Before the judgment kicks in.
Exactly, a state where everything is sort of interconnected, dissolved together. Think about seeing cherry blossoms in spring.
Okay.
Instead of immediately thinking, oh, how beautiful, or what do they symbolize, you just feel their presence directly.
Suzuki actually said, if you want to know the flower, you must become the flower. Which sounds...
Poetic, yeah, but it's practical, too. It's about experiencing life through unity, bypassing all those filters of judgment, comparison, hierarchy. It's a world of pure feeling.
So this fundamentally changes how you might approach your life, not as a battle between winning and losing.
But more as a journey of just, well, being, existing.
Okay, so if we're meant to step back from that constant striving, that judging mind, what is the alternative path Suzuki offers? What's the core idea?
He introduces this really powerful concept called muzai. It translates roughly as non-contrivance or maybe effortless action.
Effortless action. Now, that could be easily misunderstood. It doesn't mean just sitting around doing nothing, right?
Absolutely not. That's key. Muzai isn't inaction. It's more like a natural, spontaneous way of being where you're not consciously, overtly trying to force things or manipulate outcomes.
Can you give an example?
Sure. Think about your breathing or blinking or even how emotions flow when you're really relaxed. They just happen, right? Effortlessly.
You don't try to breathe normally.
Exactly. And if you do try to consciously control your breath, it often feels awkward, forced.
All right.
Suzuki taught that just letting nature take its course, that's the essence of Zen. That's where true inner power lies. Like water flowing downhill, it doesn't try to flow, it just follows the path.
That makes sense. But most of our actions are driven by intentions, aren't they? If I do this, I'll get that result. If I say this, maybe they'll like me.
For sure. And intention isn't bad in itself, but Suzuki observed that excessive intention, that constant calculation, can actually make us lose touch with our authentic selves.
Like forcing a smile when you don't feel happy, or biting your tongue constantly.
Precisely. That way of living, so wrapped up in specific intentions and expected outcomes, it often just binds us. It restricts us.
So what were his advice?
Simple, but deep. Just be. Power resides there. Muzai is really about trusting yourself, surrendering to the natural current of life.
Which, paradoxically, sounds like the most resilient way to live. Flexible, authentic.
It is. The insight is that real strength isn't always about pushing harder. Sometimes it's about letting go of the need to push. Stop trying quite so hard, and, weirdly, you often become stronger, more adaptable.
That sounds incredibly liberating, honestly.
Yeah.
But it feels quite counter to how we're often taught to operate, especially when we have real goals, careers, family, projects.
Totally. It sounds passive, maybe.
A little, yeah. How do we square this non-contrivance with the need for deliberate action in life? Is it more about how we act?
That's a great question. And it starts with something really basic. Observation. Just noticing.
Noticing what?
Your breath, as we said. Your emotions as they bubble up without immediately judging them as good or bad. Even notice the small, everyday actions you take.
Like washing dishes.
Yeah. And as you observe, you start to notice the efforting. You catch yourself when you're trying too hard. Maybe talking just to fill silence or seem smart. Or forcing that pleasant face when you're tired.
Ah, so awareness is the first step.
It's the crucial first step towards Muzai. There's a key Zen teaching here. Without attaching your mind to the object, concentrate solely on the action itself.
Okay, break that down.
It means when you wash the dishes, just wash the dishes. Feel the water, the soap, the plate. When you walk, just walk. Feel your feet on the ground. When you breathe, just breathe.
That word just is doing a lot of work there.
It really is. It implies dropping all the extra stuff, the worrying about finishing, the planning what's next, the self-critique, just the action itself.
It makes you wonder,
Yeah.
what if, as Suzuki suggests, you're inherently valuable without having to constantly prove it,
Yeah.
without all that relentless striving?
Exactly. What if your worth is just in your being here?
Okay, so building on that. Finding power in natural flow, letting go of striving. Sometimes the biggest block is our attachment to things. Outcomes, ideas, possessions.
Attachments, yeah. They run deep.
Which brings us to a concept that I admit can sound a bit daunting at first. Kuis.
Yeah.
Emptiness.
Right. And for many people, that word immediately brings up feelings of like a void or meaninglessness, nothingness.
Yeah, exactly. Not very appealing.
It's a common reaction. But the Zen understanding of ku is actually, well, quite different. It's not about a lack of meaning. It's more a gentle, profound worldview that says nothing is fixed.
Nothing is fixed.
Everything, our thoughts, emotions, situations, even physical objects, is transient. Everything is interdependent. Nothing has a permanent, solid, independent self-nature.
Okay, how does seeing things that way actually help us? How is that liberating?
Because so much of our daily stress comes from clinging, right? We cling to achievements, to approval from others, to wealth, to status, to identities. We get attached.
From the perspective of ku, all those things we cling to are temporary. They're like clouds passing through the sky, success, failure. They're just moments. Nothing is static. Everything's always changing, always in flux.
So if we connect that to the bigger picture, letting go of those attachments gives you more freedom than trying to hold on to them tighter. Exactly. It's that classic Zen paradox. Let go and you will gain. It sounds backwards, maybe?
A little. Can you illustrate?
Well, think about trying really hard to make someone trust you. If you're desperate, your actions might seem forced, maybe even insincere.
Right. You can kind of sense the effort.
But when you just act naturally, authentically, from a place of integrity, without desperately needing their trust, trust often just grows organically. That's the subtle power of ku at work. Letting go of the need for the outcome allows the natural process to unfold.
And this connects to another concept, jizai.
Yes, jizai. It's often translated as freedom, but it's not freedom like having unlimited choices. It's more like an inner flexibility, a kind of self-mastery.
How so?
It's the ability to adapt gracefully to whatever life throws at you, precisely because you aren't rigidly attached to specific outcomes or ideas about how things should be. Your mind becomes truly flexible.
So it's freedom from rigidity.
Beautifully put. And Suzuki had another great paradox. Because of emptiness, it is full.
Okay, that one needs unpacking.
It means when you empty your mind of those rigid beliefs, those attachments, those fixed ideas about yourself and the world, you create space. space for new insights, new possibilities, space for your true inherent self to actually emerge.
It's not a cold concept, then.
Not at all. Releasing attachments actually fosters more compassion. You become gentler with others' flaws, more forgiving of mistakes, including your own. You accept vulnerability because you see everything is in flow.
So the practical takeaway here is don't rush things, don't cling so tightly.
Yeah, like opening your hand to let the wind pass through instead of trying to grasp it, let go, and you find a deeper kind of freedom.
Okay, from these more abstract ideas, let's bring it down to something really tangible. Beauty. When you think of the word beautiful, what usually comes to mind for people?
Well, in our modern context, often it's grand designs, right? Luxurious things, maybe those perfect Instagrammable landscapes, polished perfection.
Something quite deliberate, often complex.
And that's where the Zen aesthetic offers such a striking contrast. It teaches that real beauty isn't primarily found in all that elaborate stuff, or in things deliberately designed to be beautiful.
So where is it found?
It resides more in the ordinary, the unassuming, in the simple state of things just being as they are.
Like what, for instance?
Think of a single fallen leaf on moss in a quiet garden, or the damp stillness just after it rains, or even the simple, focused movements someone makes when preparing tea.
Things that aren't shouting, look at me, I'm beautiful.
Exactly. They're untouched by that overt human intention to impress. They just are. This is Mushin no Bai, literally the beauty of no mind.
The beauty of no mind.
Yeah. When we connect deeply with simple things like that without our analyzing mind jumping in, our hearts become clear. Suzuki pointed out that beauty often vanishes the moment we consciously try to create it or possess it.
Why is that?
Because our ego, our desire for validation, gets in the way. It disrupts the natural purity of the thing itself.
So Mushin no mind isn't about being empty-headed.
Not at all. It's about letting go of the ego's constant demands, its commentary, its self-assertions.
Can you give an example of experiencing that?
Imagine seeing a simple wildflower growing by the side of the path. The typical reaction might be, oh, pretty, I should pick it, or I need to take a picture for social media.
Right, an immediate impulse to do something with it.
But Mushin no Bai invites you to just pause, simply feel its presence, its unassuming beauty. In that moment of pure feeling with no agenda, no plan to capture or use it, that's where you experience profound beauty.
Suzuki said something about this, didn't he?
He did. He observed, beauty is scattered in daily life, but only those with a quiet mind can pick it up. It's not hidden away in special galleries or curated experiences.
It's right here.
Right now. Exactly. And you see this philosophy woven through so many traditional Japanese arts. The tea ceremony with its minimal, rustic aesthetic, dry landscape gardens, karasansui, that evoke vastness with just rocks and sand.
Calligraphy, no theater, haiku poetry, too.
Absolutely. It's often about the power of suggestion, of negative space. The beauty found in what's not explicitly stated or shown, in subtraction, not addition.
So the insight for you, listening, is maybe, if you feel disconnected from beauty, stop trying so hard to find or create it.
Yes. Just pause. Notice the present moment more simply. Your breath. The way light falls in the room, the sounds around you, the air on your skin. Beauty is already here, abundantly. It's just waiting for a quiet mind to perceive it.
That's about a powerful shift in perspective. Beauty isn't something to chase, it's something to notice. Which leads beautifully to our next point, really. When was the last time you truly felt alive?
That's a great question.
You know, a moment where you were just fully present, fully experiencing the sensation of living.
It's shocking how easily those moments get lost, isn't it? The simple things, sunlight on your face in the morning, a cool breeze, a moment of genuine connection or kindness, they get swept away in the rush.
They really do. We're always on to the next thing.
And that's where another core Zen teaching comes in. Life isn't primarily about doing things, achieving goals. It's fundamentally about being here, now.
Because life only happens in the present moment.
Exactly. It's not in the past, that's gone. It's not in the future, that hasn't arrived. It only ever exists right now in this very instant.
Can you make that more concrete?
Think about drinking a simple bowl of miso soup.
Okay.
The usual way might be to just gulp it down while thinking about your to-do list or checking your phone between sips.
Yilties is charged.
Right. But the Zen approach invites you to actually notice it. Notice the steam rising, the subtle aroma, the taste as it spreads on your tongue, the warmth moving through your body.
Just be fully present with the soup.
Yes. In that simple, conscious act of noticing, life becomes incredibly full and rich. Suzuki had a famous quote about this. If the heart is not present, though one looks, one does not see. Though one listens, one does not hear.
Wow. So presence is everything.
He emphasized it again and again. Life is feeling. It's not about extending the years or hitting milestones. It's about the quality of attention you bring to this moment right now, fully engaging with it.
Now, you mentioned a particularly profound insight from Suzuki earlier, one that really makes you pause.
Ah, yes. We are not living, we are being lived.
That one takes a moment to sink in. What does it mean, being lived?
It points to a deep sense of humility, I think, and a connection to something much larger than our individual egos.
How so?
Think about it. You're breathing. Does your ego decide to take the next breath? Your heartbeat, do you consciously control that? The sun rising, flowers blooming, these aren't things we do.
They just happen. We're part of it.
Exactly. They happen because we're part of this vast, ongoing flow of life, of the universe. We don't orchestrate the fundamentals.
So when we truly grasp that, what changes?
Maybe we feel our interconnectedness more deeply with nature, with other people, with all of existence. We see life as this continuous flow, and maybe we stop fighting it so much. We learn to be with it rather than trying to direct it all the time.
That feels like a huge relief, actually.
It can be. So the core insight for you might be this. In a world obsessed with outcomes, efficiency, competition, just pausing and listening to the present moment, the air, the sounds, your own body can bring back this incredible sense of certainty and deep presence.
Because, as Suzuki taught,
Life is not thought. Life is just feeling.
wow, what a truly profound journey through Suzuki's wisdom and the essence of Zen. It's so clear that these aren't just dusty old philosophies.
Not at all. They feel incredibly relevant, maybe more relevant than ever, for navigating our modern lives. They're woven into Japanese culture, but the guidance feels universal.
Definitely. We've touched on so much. The freedom in just being authentic, the power in not over-trying, finding richness in emptiness, the unexpected beauty and simplicity.
And that deep fulfillment available just by being fully present, moment by moment.
It's really striking how this approach doesn't fear nothingness or simplicity, but finds incredible value and depth there. It's much more about how you are than what you achieve or accumulate.
And Suzuki was such a master at bringing this understanding to the world. People who met him or read him were often just astonished by the quiet depth.
He put it so well. Zen doesn't speak, yet it says everything. It does nothing, yet it makes one feel everything.
That captures it perfectly.
And maybe in our relentlessly fast-paced world, this timeless essence, not rushing, being truly here, cherishing quietness is something we desperately need to rediscover.
I think so. And perhaps just by listening quietly to this deep dive, by opening your mind for a little while, you've already had a small taste of that Zen experience yourself.
How do you mean?
Well, the very act of attentive listening, of being present with these ideas without immediately jumping to conclusions, that itself can be a form of profound presence, a little moment of stillness.
That's a lovely thought.
So maybe for you, our listener, here's something to ponder as you go back into your day. What quietness, what spaciousness might already be there inside you, just patiently waiting to be noticed, be embraced, ready to reveal its own unique and natural beauty. Let that thought just settle. Don't make it another task, another thing to achieve. See it more as a gentle, ongoing invitation, an invitation to cultivate that inner stillness, that spaciousness in the midst of your everyday life.
Thank you for being here with us at Yuno and Kenzo Koga, where ancient wisdom meets modern life.
Subscribe now and join us on this journey of awakening. If this resonates, tap like and share it with someone who would appreciate a moment of peace today. And feel free to share any thoughts or reflections in the comments. We'd love to hear from you.